now is the time to take all the things that you've learnt and maybe unlearn them. Curiously, I'm going to talk about that in my speech, but that's what I think. I think you can be taught, and then you have to sort of bring your own flavour into the whole thing. And if you can do that, that's the secret ingredient. It's you. You are the secret ingredient. Well, you know, the first part of my musical life, my journey, basically, when people started to know me, was with Eurythmics. So I had a wonderful partner in Dave Stewart, and the collaboration between the two of us was really what it was about. And that Dave brought certain things to the table, and I brought certain things to the table. So it was like a feast between the two of us, and we were very, very tuned into each other in that time. And we were just on this mission to create, to be artists, just to do the whole thing. So that meant writing songs, recording songs, performing songs, arranging songs, rehearsing, photo sessions, interviews, videos, concept. It's huge. It's just such a huge amount of work. And you do it like you're on wings, because you know the opportunity is so slim to get to that place, you know. And I remember when Sweet Dreams went up to #1 in America. We were in San Francisco, and I remember I got the news. I was in my hotel room. It was a sort of Japanese hotel, and it had these sort of rice paper walls, and it was a strange feeling like, ooh, the world outside knows that, you know, Sweet Dreams is at #1, and you could just have that feeling that you were no longer anonymous, and like those Japanese rice paper walls felt very much like a sort of symbol of the sort of thinness of the barrier between your own private life that nobody knew about, and then this big expansive thing that was happening in the world, and you couldn't get away from it, and wherever you went, people would recognize you in the street, you know, and the adjustment of that. And I've lived with that for most of my life now, and trying to play it down, because I think it's a really odd thing. Fame is really strange. So, I mean, if you get lucky, you get famous, but you're not in it to be famous. Fame is like a side product, and you have to learn to deal with that. And I've noticed that a lot of people, it goes to the head, and they get really swollen-headed about it, and they get bigger and bigger, and then they crash. Because your ego can't, you know, your ego is going to explode on that. It's not sustainable. You have to be humble, the opposite. You have to be grateful, and you have to thank everybody, because they're part of what you're doing. Everybody. The lighting technicians, the people that are working on the sound, the person that's driving your bus, everybody. You're grateful for them being there, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have a stage to stand on, or a light, you know, or a microphone, nothing. So many things that have happened in my experience have been so synchronistic, you know, that this funny thing happened. If I look back and I say, wow, imagine that, if I hadn't been there and I hadn't met that person, this would never have happened. So people say, what's the formula? How do you do this? And I don't know. I just know you have to have a passion for it. If you have a passion for it, and you have a gift for it, then that's a really good start. It's like the ingredients for bread. What do you need? Flour, passion for it. That's the flour, you know? Something like that. Even to the point of getting into Berklee, right from the start, it means that you're at a certain level. And if this experience has enriched you, it's given you something, you know, fantastic. But it's just a platform. It really is now the launching pad for the next adventure.